watching Diecast Breakdown with Chuck Ellis, David Johns, and Mark McHotwheel. So sit back, strap in, and hang on. The breakdown starts now.
Well, hey there, folks. Chuck here, and wow, welcome to Diecast Breakdown. If you are watching us on Instagram, thank you for joining us. I see we got a couple of people over there, and we're on Facebook Live, and of course, right here on our little home turf here at youtube.com. I am joined, as I frequently am, by my co-host, Mr. David Johns.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Mark of Driven Dreams Org. How you doing, Mark?
Doing good, Chuck. Doing real
Mark
good.
McDriven Dreams.
Mark makes something or other every other week.
Something or other. Everyone leave your comment as to what Mark's new last name should be. And we are really excited to be live for the first time in 2024 and live for the first time on Instagram. So you can check us out over there now, which is pretty cool that they made that available here on StreamYard. Before I get too much further, I want to give a shout out to our patrons, especially our executive producer level patrons, Mr. TWYCE Diecast, Datsunman Diecast, Donald Rashik, and our honorary executive producer, Dane Self, who is so generous with all of the different gifts he has given, as well as Mark. Thank you both for giving memberships to people, including Kanani Miranda, Bees Diecast Fantasy, Jason Cattrall, and Aaron Scott, who are our newest members. Thank you so much for all of you being here. It really helps keep this show on the air. This stuff is expensive, and we are doing the best we can with what we got. So before we get too much further, we're going to talk a little bit about what's exciting us in the world of diecast. So our first news of 2024, here we go. All right. First of all, someone at Nate's Corvettes, which is a weird private Instagram, has shared this Wrangler Ford Bronco. It's interesting that it's a Bronco and not a Jeep Wrangler. I wonder what the story is there. Supposedly, this is a special collab between Wrangler and Hot Wheels. It looks pretty cool and very retro. It's got that red, orange, yellow stripe that I really dig. So stay tuned for more info on that as it develops. Even T-Hunted was a little stumped as to what this is. For those of you who are RLC members, the Treasure Hunt collection from 2023 is coming live on Tuesday. So if you're real fast, you can get each of the Super Treasure Hunts from 2023 for just $16.67 each, or $250 US in total. That is a little rich for my blood. But if you factor in the amount of time you'd be spending hunting and getting up early and facing bin after bin of disappointment, it's probably not that bad a price, especially considering what some of these guys retail for. We've also got Johnny Lightning's got a really cool Toyota truck. We've talked about this casting coming up before, but this will be one of the first iterations of it with a really cool retro Toyota livery. And they've also got this CRX. I'm not sure if this is a new casting or not. I'm not sure. David, can you help me out with that? I'm not sure if it is.
I can't help you a bit with that one, Chuck.
Okay, well, it's part of the
happy to not help.
Okay, thank you. It's part of their 24 Hours of Lemons series. Chad over at Round 2 has specifically said he's raced against them with his own car, his Honda Civic, which was earlier made into a 24 Hours of Lemons car. So this is another one that I'm very much looking forward to. I think Mr. David Johns is going to like this one from Auto World. It is a Ford Probe, the first generation of what would have been the car that was the Fox Body Mustang. Originally, this was going to be the Mustang. It was going to be a front-wheel drive little sport coupe, and fortunately, they didn't go that way and gave us the Probe instead, and all of the jokes that went with that name since then. So pretty cool new casting they got going on over there. Greenlight has a exclusive car for the Diecast Supercon, which we'll be talking about later in the show. It's this cool, speaking of Fox Body Mustangs, late generation Fox Body Mustang with a special Raging Bull livery, which is pretty cool. They've also got this Hitch and Tow series that's pretty cool. It's got a Mr. Norm's Charger set with a cool old swept line truck. You got a square body Chevy with a Monte Carlo and a late model Chevy truck with a S10 that's pretty cool. And cue your jingle jangling guitars, because Mr. David Johns is going to be dropping a lot of coinage on this collection.
Absolutely.
This is the Mini GT James Bond collection that's been announced. They are not particularly forthcoming on if all of these vehicles pictured will be made into actual castings, but I'm certainly looking forward to that. Citroen and that Tuk-Tuk, that looks very, very cool. And of course, I know Mr. David Johns is very excited about all of those Aston Martins and Lotuses. And I even see an AMC Hornet in there. I'm really hoping that's one that comes to fruition. That would be super cool. Tarmac Works has a first generation Honda Civic coming out, and I do love me a first generation Honda Civic. And this one is really cool because Felix Kwan, friend of the show, made this one to resemble his mom and dad's first new car that was the car that they had when he was born. So that's super cool.
With Chase,
yes. And there is a lightweight Ferrari F40 coming out that is also super cool. So keep your eyes out for those on your favorite diecast buying sites. I'll now turn things over to Mr. David Johns for our event news.
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. And yes, to answer your question, of course, I am super pumped about the Mini GT. For a brand like that to do all those cool Bond cars, that is a win-win for me. Guys, 'tis the season. I guess I didn't realize that this time of year is diecast convention season. We have got conventions. I think the best way to put it is out the wazoo. That's about as eloquently as I could put it. Let's start first with a new one. This is a new convention that Diecast Breakdown is all over. We are going to be checking it out. We're going to talk with the organizer. This is a Matchbox Con. Well, Matchbox Con, rather.
Con.
Yeah, sorry, that's a trademark.
It looks like a dot, but that's the little circle art.
Matchbox Con. But guys, you can see, yes, Matchbox is in the name, but there's going to be every brand you can imagine represented. This is going to be on the East Coast for all you guys up in DC, Maryland, Virginia, Freddie, House of Cards. If you're watching, I'm sure you'll be there. This is going to be a really cool event. And guys, this is what this show is about. We are getting the organizer of the event on the show for a future episode. I'm going to tell you all about it and tell you why you want to maybe take a road trip. It'll be worth it to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
March, that's March 23rd and 24th, by the way, for the people who are listening.
March 23rd, 24th. It is free. Festival Factory is who is putting it on. Gaithersburg, Maryland is where it's going down. Check it out. Let's go over now, Chuck, to Vegas. We have got a convention that we are all familiar with. You guys saw everybody on here that's talking right now. Mark, Chuck, we've all been talking about the Supercon this past year and what a great time Diecast Breakdown had there. You guys remember we did some shows from the actual convention. That is coming up the end of February, the 29th through the 3rd of March. The Super Bowl is a couple weeks prior, but this is going to be the big event for the month. I got a feeling this is going to be bigger than the Super Bowl. I'm sure you guys agree. This one is it's called Las Vegas Super Convention, and it's going to be huge. We got more things we are going to roll out about this convention in the coming days and weeks. So please stay tuned to Diecast Breakdown and Diecast Media Network. You're going to find out who Cartooned is. Maybe we'll find out too. We'll find out together. Mystery. It is a mystery. All right. Last one that we have got is over in Atlanta, and you guys know it as the Hot Wheels Nationals. Chuck and I are going to be there in person. So excited to bring some content for you guys from Atlanta. Guys, this thing is like trying to buy an RLC to get into this convention. It was a workout getting a room and getting tickets, but we've done it. You guys are worth it. We put in the effort. We're going to be there. are going to be interacting with all the great collectors that'll be there. This will be the first week of April, the 2nd through the 7th. Not only are we going and shooting a lot of video for you guys, we will be there broadcasting live that final Sunday. So check it out. We're going to be coming from what they call the Sunday sales floor. We'll be walking around showing you what all is up for sale at the Hot Wheels Nationals, along with hopefully getting you some content, maybe some interviews of other personalities that'll be at the convention. Lots of conventions, something for everybody, no matter what side of the country you're on. And we look forward to bringing you coverage from all of them. So with that said, I'm done. It's on to Mark, and we're going to hear a little bit about Driven Dreams.
All right, Mark, what's going on?
Driven Dreams. So we changed over the channel from Datsunman Diecast to Driven Dreams so that we can fully focus on getting cars to kids. So this year we're going hard. We're looking for those people that want to donate, that are passionate about donating cars to get to kids. We're going to be getting some bins, collection bins. My goal, we're going to have one at Atlanta with these beautiful gentlemen. They're going to have a collection bin. So if you go, or if you know anyone that's going, there'll be a collection bin for getting cars to sick and less fortunate kids. So we will add that to our goal of 2024 for 24,000 cars is what we're shooting for worldwide. And my goal is to get some more of these collection bins at all the other events, all the other cons and conventions. We're going to get cars there too. I'm looking to get bins worldwide at different locations. Wherever there's collectors, I want to get some of these bins there so we can collect cars. Anything that a lot of these vendors are going to have extra stuff that they didn't sell that they can give away and stuff like that. So we encourage people to bring cars to these events that are doubles that you just don't really need in your collection, because there's a kid out there that needs that more than you do. So yeah, this year's going to be a big year. We're focusing a lot on making all these things happen. If you join the channel and you can become a membership, all that money, 100% of it is going to the cause, whether it be money for the bins, flyers, advertising, anything, that all the incidentals that add up. Anything helps, so we encourage you to give if you can there. If you can't donate any cars, you can maybe donate a couple bucks a month to our cause. So it's going to be a really cool year this year, and I'm excited. I know you guys are excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, tell us, did you went live yesterday, Mark, exclusively for kind of a Driven Dreams purpose? Can you give us a little bit of a recap on that?
Yeah, so I went live a couple times yesterday. So I have a lot of my collection, my personal collection that I'm selling. I'm selling pretty much all of it except for some 510 stuff that I'd like to keep, some of the stuff that I really took me a long time to find. But all my, my premiums, I've got box sets and that kind of stuff. I'm selling that so that we can fund, those kind of things, that we can fund getting, merchandise to different, people's shirts and banners, and then those boxes that, those are typically somewhere around $40 a piece for the boxes, that we can collect for these kids. So all that stuff adds up, especially the bigger we get. So I'm selling off my own personal collection to build up some extra funds to do that, which is no problem. I've enjoyed a lot of the cars that I've had. I've had a lot of fun hunting and collecting for this stuff, but it's really nice to get rid of it to people that know what the cause is for. I've had some people come out to our shop, and then I had a lot of my subscribers help and purchase things, including David. So thank you, David, for that, for buying some stuff. And then David's going to get rid of that stuff. He's going to sell it again at the convention and donate more.
We're gonna max it out. Mark gets a donation on the front end, and hopefully we can sell it in Atlanta, Chuck. So I'm counting on Chuck. I've done my part now. Now it's up to Chuck.
Yeah.
Well,
Chuck's a salesman now.
And we are also going to be having a collection bin at the Atlanta Collector event. So we will be collecting cars both in the hotel room and when we're on the show floor. Hopefully we can get, as Larry has offered to help rattle the trees and shake loose some extra castings, and we'll probably get a few other good folks that'll help us rustle up some stuff. So expect to see some previous guests on that one, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And we're going to hit that goal of 24,000 cars donated in 2024. And again, we're really pushing the collaborative effort with this channel now. We're really pushing to get this channel up to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. And in doing that, that will help us get to that goal of 24,000 cars donated. So again, thank you to everybody who's subscribed already. Please share this channel with your friends, with your diecast groups, help spread the word. I was talking about it with some people at a vintage toy store yesterday, and help this channel grow. And speaking of helping channels grow, it's time for our small channel shout out. That would be Ignition Diecast. Go check him out. He's got 434 subscribers. He's got a diecast shop of his own that he's doing. It's a relatively new channel from what I've seen, and so go check him out. I will be adding his link to the description of this YouTube. I was not able to get it on in time for this. And if you've got news that you'd like to share, you can email diecastbreakdown@gmail.com, and we may just read it on a future episode. And of course, along with growing that channel, we are actively looking for contributors, people who are interested in helping us out with social posts, with making shorts, with making videos. Again, big thanks to David and Mark, who have been contributing full-length videos and shorts. We are posting every single day of 2024 on this channel in that effort. So if you're seeing a lot of us, that's why. And, thanks to everybody who has continued to help and support us through that. So that's it for the news and what's going on in our world. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will have our special guest, SRT Jovita. So stick around.
We'll be back with more Diecast Breakdown after this word from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Larry Wood, and you're watching Diecast Breakdown.
If you have a favorite Diecast channel with less than 700 subscribers and you'd like to see them highlighted on a future episode, email us at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com. The Diecast Media Network store is here. Wear your passion with pride, featuring designs from Diecast Breakdown, Flying Valiant builds, plus unique designs inspired by diecast culture from Justin Ellis. Visit tpublic.com/Diecast Media Network now.
Hey, this is Chad Reed from Round 2, and you're watching Diecast Breakdown.
And now back to Diecast Breakdown.
All right, well, we are back, and we are talking about 2024, and we've talked about this a little bit already, but the events that are coming in 2024, we have really kind of dove in with both feet on events starting last year with going to Diecast Supercon, and this year we're going to be doing the Hot Wheels Collectors Nationals in Atlanta, and we may have something to do with Diecast Supercon in Las Vegas, so stay tuned for that. And there might even be a special appearance by us at Matchbox Con as well. So our calendar is pretty booked for the next couple months, but and we'll be joined by SRT Jovita here in a moment to talk about Diecast Supercon and her experiences from there. But gentlemen, you were both at Diecast Supercon last year, and I just kind of David, I think you've got a very interesting perspective because you've now registered for the one this year, the Collector Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a little compare and contrast really quick about what it was like registering for Supercon versus the Collector Nationals, because man, it was a whole thing.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I made mention in the news segment, it was like trying to order an RLC. It might have been even more competitive than an RLC.
I think it was.
Yeah, guys, if you can't sleep tonight and you would like a good read, hop on the Hot Wheels Collectors National Facebook page and just take a look at what went down. Aside from all of that, okay, first and foremost, shout out to Mark and Jennifer, the couple, the single couple who puts on this entire event.
Do not envy their job.
They don't get paid by Mattel. They do it out of the passion for the hobby. And they also gave us permission to stream for you guys at the show. So I'm going to temper any of my story with huge respect and adoration for them for allowing us to come to you live from this event. Now it was tough, guys. You get a time to log in and buy a ticket just like RLC. I got mine within 30 seconds of it being activated. Chuck,
yeah,
shit,
I
timed
was
in 3 minutes later.
I was my alarm went off, and then my son woke up from his nap, and I was like, oh, I can go upstairs. I'll, he always needs his diaper changed after his nap. I'll go change that, buy the ticket real quick. So I logged in at 1:34 p.m. Eastern time, and they were gone. And I found out on the Facebook group that it was within 3 minutes, it was completely gone, which is just absolutely wild. Because guys, did you have, with Diecast Supercon, we were buying tickets like weeks after the tickets opened.
Yeah.
Oh man. When did you get yours for? Yeah, the hotel.
Yeah, I got mine pretty late. It definitely wasn't wasn't early on for sure. It was later.
Yeah, they were offering tickets right up till the end, I think. I think you could pretty much just walk up to it and get tickets. But it's a much larger event from what I gather. Now, I was ticket number, thank goodness. Again, shout out to Mark and Jennifer for understanding, because we were like, look, we're a team. We need to have both of us there, and they were able to fit me in. I was just north of 1,600 on my ticket number, and from what I gather, the ticket numbers are sequential, starting with ticket number 1, because people were. Here's a little bit of cybersecurity advice for all y'all. Not that this is a cybersecurity podcast, but people were on the Facebook groups where they have their full names, and they're in the Facebook group, and they're going, I got ticket number 486 or 682, or trying to be like, oh, look at my low number. I'm like, please don't do that, because those ticket numbers are what people were using to get their hotel rooms. You had to have a ticket number to get a hotel room. So, and more on that in a minute. But the like I said, within 3 minutes, it was gone. And then the special dinner tickets came up later. The special event tickets came up later. Those were gone, from what I heard, instantaneously. I didn't have $155 to drop on the dinner, so I didn't go for it. But those were gone instantly. And then the hotel thing happened. And David, I'll let you take that, because David got a front row seat to that carnage.
Okay, so here's what you got to do, guys. Getting a ticket to the convention is one thing, but getting a room is it's like anxiety attack 2.0, because they activate the link for the room at a certain time, and everybody's supposed to go in and hit this link, and we all did that. The link was bad. I somehow, through some epiphany, said, I'm just going to call the hotel. And they looked it up. They saw the block that was set aside for the convention. I verified that I was a ticket holder, which to their credit, they did do. So nobody can just go in and, buy a bunch of rooms and then scalp them later. But yeah, same thing. People were waiting 24 hours for a new link for the room. It got worked out for Chuck and I. If you didn't get it and you're in another hotel, I'm sorry, but it worked out for Chuck and I. We'll be there. We'll be in the room selling and doing all the fun stuff that most of the guests will be doing.
Yeah, I still am not sure how we got a hotel. Like, because it was so much, like, it was a very providential type thing that we were able to both of us get tickets, and and again, shout out to Mark and Jennifer, because they had a very difficult job ahead of them wrangling. This is a passionate hobby full of passionate people, and there were people on the Facebook group, because the tickets were supposed to go, the link was supposed to go live on the 16th, and then it was supposed to be activated on the 17th, and we weren't really sure when. And, I'm sure they didn't know either. It was probably something to do with the third party that was handling the booking. And, we're dealing with time zones all over the place, so nobody really knew. And there were people on the Facebook group, this is how passionate people are, that were like, I will stay up all night and wait for that link to drop. And they did. They were like, I have been up all night, and the link didn't drop until 8:30 that morning. And then, it wasn't working. And, we were both like trying. I tried 3 different internet browsers. I tried my phone, and then David's like, I got it. And I was like, how? And he's like, I picked up my phone, and I was like, oh yes, the phone. That is something
Telephones.
that still
The
exists.
old fashioned.
The old, yeah.
Dial
See,
it.
he
No rotary. But listen, guys, we're sharing this with you because we want you to be aware. This isn't a. If you want to go to this, you don't call them up a week before and get a ticket.
Mark your calendar. And the other thing that we've learned is that if you are a member of the newsletter that Mark and Jennifer run, you get first crack at this. And from what I gather, it's, like I said, about 1,600 tickets. There are about 500 hotel rooms in the hotel that were blocked off for this.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of hotels around there, and people were, like, okay, well, there's overflow hotels. Like, there's plenty of hotels within walking distance, so don't worry about that. But if you want to be a part of the selling and you want to be a part of that participation thing, you can only do it from that hotel, because obviously the other hotels are not blocked off for this event, and that would kind of be a little inconsiderate for people to be hosting diecast bazaars out of their hotel rooms when other families are like, I'm just here to go to the aquarium, so
let's talk about Vegas a little. I want to mention, guys, so we have got as good fate would have it, we have got the organizer for the Vegas convention coming on. We're going to interview him tomorrow night. That'll be a future episode very soon. But we're going to tell y'all how all these conventions get put together, how they reach out to their network of contributors and vendors. We want to bring that part of the hobby to you as well, so that you guys can get a sneak peek behind the curtain on how these things come together. I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And, we need to remember, again, to cut the people that are running these shows slack. They're doing the best they can with what they got. And believe me, they don't want to let you have a bad experience. There was just like, this was just, things were not lining up. Code was not talking properly. They were not, getting information in the time that they needed to do it, and they were doing the best they could. And for the most part, people were pretty understanding in the Facebook groups. There were a few special cases out there that needed to, touch some grass and, breathe some fresh air and do your little meditation and calm down. It's
do
just
some grounding.
Do some grounding.
Shoes and socks off.
And and now I will admit, a little confused as to why, if the show sells out in 4 minutes, why they don't just make the show bigger. But I'm sure that there are limitations. They probably have already locked in deal with this hotel. I'm sure that once you start adding more people, it becomes a much more complex issue. I'm sure there's a huge cost increase. So, I'm again, I wish that the show was a little more sized appropriately, so that there was more of a chance for people to go. Now, there is an event at the end of the show that we've mentioned. There is a selling event that is open to the general public. So that's the one day that's like from the morning, it's like 9 to 2 or something like that, 8:30 to 2, something like that. And people will be selling from there. And that's interesting because, as the title implies, it is a Hot Wheels convention, and you can only sell licensed Mattel Hot Wheels items from there. But the people that are selling from the hotel rooms can sell whatever they want, and we intend to do just that.
Let's use diecast.
Yes,
Mark,
exactly.
Mark, what was your favorite part about the Vegas convention?
It was really cool. It was a really cool experience. It was way better than I had anticipated, because I'm not a big crowd person. And I've noticed comments like in some of our previous lives that people are like, I hate crowds and stuff. And I do too. So I don't like going to concerts. I don't like going to like big type events, baseball games, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like I was sifting through people. Like, it was so packed that I just couldn't walk around. It was nice. I mean, I think the biggest thing was being able to go to each room, the hotel room, and see the really obscure stuff that you're not even going to find online. Some of the stuff, like I found some really cool Datsun 510s that I don't see come up for sale very often. A lot of like Kaido House stuff, like, Black Edition, or, kind of the rare stuff. So it was really cool meeting. I mean, the biggest thing to take away is meeting people there. Like it wasn't about the cars. It was about the people. We made a lot of cool friends. We met Eddie Castro. We met a lot of cool people that we've talked to,
Anthony.
online. Anthony, we met in person. And Mike and Tony, and just a lot of cool people that were, you can make a lot of friends at an event like that.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it was more so about, I mean, granted, there was some sweet cars there. There was, some other vendors that had, artwork. I met a guy that's out of, I think, Oregon, and he had the Goonies stuff. And you guys know, I mean, I gave away some of the stuff. We had the DeLorean artwork and Goonies and all kinds of Garbage Pail Kids. So there was a lot of cool stuff. You could walk around and talk to everyone. Everyone was super friendly. I didn't go up to a single, vendor there that wasn't super friendly, and, just talking diecast and, where they're from, what they do. So it was really cool. I mean, there was, like anything, if you get in line to get something to eat or drink, it could be a while, it could be a wait, because like everything else, a lot of things are understaffed, but that's not a big deal to me. As long as you I would recommend, if you go to those kind of events, just find where the bathroom is, find where there's some food, bring maybe a snack or something, because you're not going to want to you're going to want to make your rounds and look at everything. And, you might get hangry,
Yes. Hydrate and snack. Yeah.
Yeah. Hydrate, snack. And, the restaurant, they have a restaurant there, and that got kind of busy. So just kind of plan things accordingly, kind of scope it out the first day, and kind of just make a soft, it's like when you go to anything that's like multiple days, just kind of go check it out the first day, kind of make your rounds, and then kind of have a better plan for what you're going to
targeted attack. Yeah.
Yeah. For the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super JD. Oh yeah. Super JDM Diecast says on Instagram, can you sell Matchbox at the final event? Technically it's a Mattel property and way better than Hot Wheels. Well, that is a point of opinion.
Pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
All right. I hear you.
I believe that the implication from it was that it had to be Hot Wheels and licensed by Mattel. So not like Hot Wheels fan art or Hot Wheels things that you've just etched the Hot Wheels logo in, like bootleg t-shirts or, stands or displays or whatever. It had to be licensed Mattel stuff that is for Hot Wheels. Because yes, I thought the same thing you did. I would, again, much prefer to see a huge selection of Matchbox. But that's what Matchbox Con is for. So, we're really excited about that. And again, that will be on the show later. But it's the big thing with shows like this, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed. And I know when I go to toy fairs and stuff like this, it gets to where you can close your eyes and you see Matchbox cars and Hot Wheels cars in your head. Like it's just like your brain is just like overwhelmed with all the stimulus and stuff. And so for me, showing up early is of course an important thing, but making sure you get rest as well. And that's really going to be a tough one to do when you've got, I'm sure these guys are selling into the wee hours of the night, and it's going to be, loud, but just pace yourself and remember that you do have to have some accountability for your bank account while you're doing it, because it is very easy to let that get away from
give
you.
yourself a budget.
Give yourself a budget. Yeah. And so we're excited that we're going to be able to be in the hotel and actually get some on the floor action, seeing it in person, get some footage of it, and do a little selling ourselves to help offset the cost of this. Because like I said, doing this show is expensive, and and being at this thing is not super cheap either. But we want to do it. We want to really help get the name of the show out and grow this channel, because again, we really kind of see ourselves as fellow fans of the hobby like you, that we're just trying to understand it better and trying to talk to the people that make it happen and provide more clarity, more of a unified focus on this incredibly vast hobby, and talk to the people that are making this stuff. And a lot of times we, when we have people like Junkyard Joust, or we have folks who are making these like Chad Reed and stuff, when they're coming on, they're not really having the chance on their own platforms to talk about what they do and the stories behind things. Are usually talking about, well, I'm here to do this, and here's the video, and here's the content, and thank you very much, and move on. And so for this show, it's about getting that extra behind the scenes stories and interviews with people. And that's kind of what really matters a lot to us. And, it's really cool that there's stuff like this out here. And again, our guest SRT Jovita, who's going to be on here shortly, that, reach out there and talk to people and get the stories behind the cars that we love so much. So with that in mind, we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, SRT Jovita will be joining us. So thank you for being here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Diecast Breakdown will be right back after these messages.
This episode of Diecast Breakdown is brought to you by you. That's right. We are 100% viewer and listener supported, and we are so grateful for those of you who have already supported the podcast and the shows we're planning to add to the Diecast Media Network family. You can find out more about how to support this project by visiting diecastmedianetwork.com or email us about sponsoring an episode at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com.
Hello, this is Diecast Dude from the Netherlands, and you are watching Diecast Breakdown.
This presentation of Diecast Breakdown is brought to you by TWYCE Diecast and Datsunman Diecast on YouTube. Please visit their links in the show notes and subscribe to their channels for more epic Diecast content.
Hey, this is Champion DJK, and you're watching Diecast Breakdown.
And now, the thrilling conclusion of this week's episode of Diecast Breakdown.
All right, well, we are back, and we have our special guest SRT Jovita in the house. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Sorry about the delay there.
Oh no, it's
didn't
quite
quite
all right.
Get the timing right.
Oh, it's all right. You're
Made it.
just in time for our back half of the show, and we're really excited to have you back on. For those who don't know, she has joined us in the past. We got to know her a little bit better, and we're going to be talking about her and what's going on in the SRT Jovitaverse, and of course, Diecast Supercon. But first, how you been? What's going on in your world?
Well, it's been a little bit crazy going back and forth from shows. Closed out the year going to the SEMA show. Also was at the LA convention. So kind of been flying all over the place. And then Christmas happened. So season 2, I closed out season 2 of the SRT Jovita show and kind of took a break. So yeah, it's just been really busy in the diecast world, selling, doing all that fun stuff. I was actually just at a show. That's why I got the timing wrong. I thought I was going to be at home in enough time. But yeah, I mean, diecasting is a full-time gig for me. And as you guys know, it's my passion. And gearing up to go to the Supercon in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been getting some grail pieces. So I've gotten a couple grail pieces in the last week or two. And I was able to get a master set, which I was pretty excited about. That's something I've never been able to get. I wasn't able to get it from Mattel, unfortunately, but finally got one. So yeah, it's been fun.
So is that the one, Jovita, that has every mainline treasure hunt, super treasure hunt? Is that the big one?
Exactly. Yeah, it's everything from the whole year.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I know that one went very fast. So congrats.
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes. No, I didn't even get it from Mattel.
Well, yeah, you said you got it secondhand. Yeah.
So you got it from an alleyway. This guy had it.
Yeah, it fell truck.
Somebody, actually, I think they were able to get like a whole bunch of sets. I'm not going to comment on you know, how people get these
No
things.
comment.
But you know what? He offered it up for a good price. So, you know, I had to grab it. And then actually just locally, well, not locally, but like a couple states over, provinces over, I found some older sets. So I actually have a few more sets coming out. It's funny how that happens, eh? It's like you're looking for this piece or this box set for years and you can't find it, and then all of a sudden you get like 5.
And it just
rain
completely financially ruins you for the rest
I
of the
know.
Right. Yeah. No, we were just talking about before you came on the Super Treasure Hunt series is going to be dropping on Tuesday, and
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's going to be the same story.
yeah, it's going to go real quick. But if you can get it, you know, $250 is a lot of money, but also getting each Super Treasure Hunt for less than 17 bucks US is not bad either. If you can
Yeah.
get it, like that thing is going to
Mhm.
sell out super duper quick. And you know, but that's wild. So yeah, I'm curious because you mentioned SEMA. You know, you know, from a diecast perspective, what's it like going to a full-size car show like SEMA?
So personally, I am in the car world as well, and that's kind of always been intertwined with my die casting. So believe it or not, there is a large diecast portion of the show. So M2 Machines actually has a booth there through Fun Lines, and Jada goes quite often. Or I guess it was because last year. So last year they didn't go, but previous year they were there. Mattel has been at the SEMA show in the previous years. I haven't been lately, but a couple of designers were there and had, you know, cars in different booths. So some of the vendors give out Hot Wheels because they have a lot of free stuff at the SEMA show. So it's pretty cool, you know, like, so you can, the diecasters know where to get everything. So they'll go to like every single booth, you know, you can go to like iBock or whatever, or, you know, just kind of look. And then there's lots of people that build cars, and then Mattel will do a car for them kind of thing, right? So then they'll have
like
it
Motor Trend
on
did
their dash.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool actually. It's like it's the best of both worlds when you go there.
So, Jovita, speaking of the best, I noticed that last year, as part of your Supercon experience, you took part in the VIP package, if I recall correctly. Can you kind of tell some viewers who may or may not be considering, you know, enhancing their convention experience by buying one of those better packages? Like, what all did that come with, and you know, how did they roll the red carpet out?
So because the show brings me there, I didn't actually buy the VIP package, but my husband did. So you get, but there's a lot of different levels though. There's like Elite VIP, and there's a couple other levels. So I'm not sure if you're able to maybe bring it up from the website, and then we can take a look at it. But I do host, or am part of the Elite VIP tour, which happens on the Wednesday. So if you are part of the Elite VIP, you get to go on this tour, and it's a tour across, you know, Las Vegas, and we get to see some of the sites, some of the landmarks there. And sometimes we get special little tours, like we went to, where did we go? Counts Customs. And then we went to their store, the House of Cars store, and a couple of other places. So that's part of the Elite VIP. I think if you get the regular VIP, because like I said, there is a few different levels, you do get a box set of cars, and then cars for every event, and that's included within your ticket, so you don't have to buy them separately. So that's
nice.
usually, so that's kind of usually why people will get it, because then you get all those cars, you don't have to buy them, you don't have to stand in line, and they are specific to the VIP package. So it's not something that somebody can just buy.
Right.
So that's kind of nice, and it's numbered as well. So you get like last year was Nuclear Mines Design box set, and it was like gassers. It was like, I think 4 cars, and then you just get a whole bunch of other cars. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, there was quite a lot of categories this year. I think they added a couple more. So one of them actually includes flight and hotel as well.
Oh,
so you kind of have to read and see which one works for you. But
Yeah,
there
that
is
sounds good.
perks. Yeah, there is perks, and then I think some of them, like, you get to cut the line and be first.
yeah, like a fast
And then
pass.
there's just and then there's just all the activities as well. So they just released the schedule. I think it was last week. So you can take a look at all the events,
Well,
and then they keep changing.
That's really cool.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say they just keep adding people onto the roster of who's coming, like celebrity wise. So, yeah, they're stacking the show now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Helps people get in the door sometimes. Just I want to see that person. So
yeah, for sure, and then get
I
your
don't
car
blame 'em.
signed or
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, we were talking about this before you came on, but David and I are going to be going to the Atlanta Collector Nationals for Hot Wheels. I don't know if you've ever been to that one or not.
No, I've only been to the LA one because it's just closer for me.
That's what I
And I was
figured.
contemplating going to Atlanta, but it's like I do so many events a year, like, with SEMA and some of the other ones.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just can't get that much time.
Well, yeah, and if you can do the LA one, why would you do the Atlanta one? The LA one's
well,
like the big
the reason
but-
is the cars. The cars are always like
True.
really
There's
good.
the show exclusive cars. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they do different ones. So
is it really hard to get into the LA one, or is it, because when our experience getting into like the Collector Nationals for Atlanta sold out in 3 minutes. Is it like that for the LA show too?
it is, but then they had for LA, they had like, if you're the newsletter member, so they had those, and then they had the online.
Sure.
So I think they had 2 or 3 different times you could buy tickets, and I was able to just go online and buy it. But I did hear a lot of people that weren't able to get in. So it is kind of the same. So
yeah,
people flock to these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. But but it seems a lot easier to get into the Diecast, the Super Convention,
Supercon,
it's so much bigger, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if they have like a cap on the tickets either, but it is. I mean, I would assume the hotels are kind of the same size, but it's just a different convention altogether. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, that one's on the list to check out. One of these. I've never been to the LA one, but that would be fun.
It is. I think it's really good. And then I did a little video while I was there to kind of show people what you get if you go to the LA convention, like what comes with your ticket, what cars you get, how much the cars cost, and then what to expect. And then I kind of showed like, where registration is and, the lineups that you have to wait in. So I thought that was kind of a good little video for people that don't know. And it would be very similar at the Atlanta show.
So can we throw you on the spot, Jovita, and talk about what it's like to host live streams from a convention like this? You've got a unique perspective in that you get to see all the big guests that come through at Vegas, and they've asked you to do that again. Congratulations on that, first and foremost.
Thank you.
You did an excellent job last year. Mark and I
thank you.
loved I loved them. So talk about how that adds to your enjoyment of the convention.
So the live shows are like, last year was my first time doing them. So I do 2 shows. So I do one at 10 a.m. and then I do another one at 1. And it's an hour show, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a bit shorter. And the morning show, so I do a morning show and afternoon. In the morning, I usually have a co-host, and I had Mike with me last year. This year, I'm not quite sure who it's going to be. But you're right, it is a unique perspective because I get to know the designers or whoever I'm interviewing, the new brands, because I know there's going to be a new brand this year as well. I think it's just really cool being up on stage with everybody there. And it's being recorded, streamed live. And, last year was kind of like, I kind of just winged it. I didn't plan a lot of it. A lot of the guests, some of them were like scheduled, you know, like 5 minutes before, as you know, with the Dukes of Hazzard cast. That wasn't planned. Like that was all spontaneous, everything that happened. But I think it's great that way. That's what I mean. I do live shows as well. Same with you guys. I mean, you guys are live right now. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Just wing it.
But yeah, that's how I always do it. Because if I script it and I start getting in my head, I'm just gonna like forget what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I always like to keep it really authentic, and yeah, I like to also ask questions that people wouldn't necessarily ask, you know, like, I don't know, what's your favorite casting, or what do you like, try to ask some questions that they haven't been asked in other interviews, because it's always kind of about their history or how they got into it. So I always try to change it up somehow depending on how the conversation goes. So this year will be kind of interesting because some of the guests I don't know, you know, as Jada and Greenlight, I'll be talking to some people from there, and I haven't talked to anybody from those brands before. So that'll be fun. And then there's a new brand, and then Neverland is going to be there again too. So it'll be exciting. And then I do 2 shows a day, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for it.
Wow, that's awesome. So definitely keeping you busy for sure.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Neverland cars are something else. I mean, those are really cool cars. It's like buying a custom, but like perfect. I don't know. Couldn't even find any flaws on those little things, you know. So
and you know
really
what?
cool.
I mean, they literally debuted at the convention last year, and now we've come full circle, and you know, it's been 1 year and the brand has blown up, and they're doing like phenomenal, and they have had quite a few drops already that have been like sold out right away. So they're doing some exciting new stuff again for the show. They're doing a party as well. So it's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to do at the Supercon this year, and I think the big brands are gonna be throwing some events within the event as well. There's gonna be a Raw party I saw, and yeah, there's quite a few things that are new for this year. So it'll be exciting.
It's exciting times. David, what do you say about that? You know, what's your little the most
never been a better time to be a collector.
Okay,
and you know, and if raves and glow sticks aren't your thing, then you've always got the selling in the hotel rooms, which is so cool at these conventions. That's got to be my favorite part.
You know what the best, like the really good part about it is that there is no casino in the hotel. Because that's where probably half my money would have gone.
Yeah, you focus on the diecast instead of
and it's kind of far away from like the hotels I usually go to. So I'm like, hey, that's probably good because I'm not going to rent a car or like, you know.
Yeah. There's people over there trying to slide their diecasts across the blackjack table. Be like, put
all on
do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Some of these diecasts you could trade for, you know,
quite a few poker chips. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
So do you have any, like, we were kind of talking about this, you know, we really haven't been doing shows until really last year when we went to Supercon. Do you have any advice for a first timer for Diecast Supercon or for the LA show? And, you know, you can talk about the differences between the two or just general advice for either event.
So one thing that I always tell people is be prepared to stand in line for the different events, for the vending machine. Wear comfortable shoes. Same thing with the SEMA show. Like there's a lot of walking.
Orthopedics, you know.
yeah, just get the old people shoes.
David's good.
But yeah, I think that people don't realize if you go to the show, you have your ticket, even if you're VIP. I mean, a lot of times you do have to stand in line. Like the vending machine is a good example. At the LA show or any of the Hot Wheels shows, you do have to stand in line. You have to actually schedule your time slot. And if you miss one or the other, I don't believe you can do it again.
Oh,
like
wow.
you can, I think there's like 2 slots every day, and you kind of have to use them up for at least for the LA show within your trip. So like within the 3 or 4 days that the show is, and if you miss it, then unfortunately you don't get anything back for it. But it's always exciting to see what you're gonna get. House of Cars, you can buy them and stand in line. If you don't get them beforehand with the LA show, you have to get them there, I think. I mean, like with your ticket at the same time. But that's always fun, and you end up spending a lot of money doing these vending machines, and just to see what you're gonna get. But yeah, so that's one of the big things is standing in line. And then I would say to plan your trip. So if you look at the schedule and you know that there's designers you want to meet at either show, make sure you plan that into your schedule, because again, you're going to be waiting in line. Have all your stuff ready that you want to get signed. The designers, like I haven't seen, nobody charges money for it. So, and they're all pretty good about signing everything that you have. I mean, hopefully you don't have a duffel bag full of cards that you want signed. But they're really awesome about. Sorry.
I said, yeah, keep it pushing. You have like a whole duffel bag full.
Yeah. All my Fast and Furious cars here. Hector, sign them, please.
Yeah. No, exactly. They did have a lot of. One time I saw it was Shirley Muldowney a couple years ago at the Diecast Supercon. So she was there, and there was this one guy, and he literally had a huge box, and I didn't even see him at the show. It was like he just came for that. He just kind of snuck in.
Repelled from the ceiling, just like.
Please make these out to eBay.
Yeah, it was totally. It was like Spider-Man. He just showed up on it, just like repelled from the ceiling. And he had this box with him, and he sat there, and she signed every single piece. And I'm gonna say there's probably about like 50 dragsters and 50 cars, and she signed like every part. And he was like, "No, I want the chassis signed, and I want this signed." And she did it all. Like, she was really awesome. That was another really cool person to meet.
Hey, let's talk about season 3 coming up on the Jovita show. Season 2, you had some bangers on there, and you mentioned that you're a car person first and foremost. Are you still president of Canadian Mopar Club, or is that?
Yep. It's actually my club, so I started it. Okay. I gave myself the title. Yourself. Yeah.
There was a coup.
We're gonna have to let you go.
President / custodian / everything. All right, so.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is not everybody on the Jovita show is diecast. You kind of you got guests from all types of walks of life coming on there, right? Like,
we actually had last year we had Mark Trossel, and he's an actual car designer he's part of the SRT team. So that was pretty exciting for me, and we had kind of worked together before on some videos and stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to sort of weave the two together, and kind of because they kind of do go hand in hand, right? I mean, most diecasters are car people, right? There's only like one designer I've ever talked to, not Hot Wheels. It was Johnny Lightning designer, and he was not a car person. I was shocked.
What?
That's pretty shocking.
He was
like, I hate cars.
Fired.
I hate cars.
He was like, I have no interest, and we're just like, what? So yeah, I try to have a little bit from both worlds, and I had someone from Jack's Wax on, a brand that I've done some stuff with. So I was supposed to have the CEO from ExoMod on, but it didn't work out. So I'll probably have him on season 3 again. So yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit of both worlds. You guys have done great. You guys have Larry Wood on. I'm gonna try to do some stuff with him at the show because he's also coming.
Larry's an awesome dude. Awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Let us know if we can help you.
Yeah.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you.
You bet.
I'm probably gonna have him on one of the shows in Vegas. So I figured I'd just talk to him, and because I'm actually opening up a box set that he did a lot of the castings on too. Actually, I just opened another one as well because he's done so many castings. So I just thought it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of both. I've been doing a little bit more diecast people because the automotive world is a little bit harder to kind of get people from, but I'm getting there. So I'm hoping to start season 3 soon. I started running a toy store, so that's kind of been taking a lot of my time. So I'm trying to figure out what a good day is to do the show.
Is that online or like in person?
No, an actual brick and mortar store. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, all right.
That's cool.
Where's that located?
It's in Langley, BC. It's not mine. I just run it. So, but I am still doing my own die casting as well. And I sell on Instagram. So
yeah, I'll have to make a trip up there. I'm not a couple hours away. Like,
are you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in Washington State. Yeah.
Yep. I'm down Woodby Island, so it's probably
no way. Yeah, I used to go like pretty close to there. Yeah. Yep.
So
I haven't driven across. I haven't driven across in a while, but I always used to go up that way, just past like Burlington, and then as far as like Tulalip. So yeah,
we're right in that area. So yeah, once we got a newborn on the way. So once little girl. Yep.
Oh, congrats! Yeah. There is a House of Cars store. What? Oh yeah, well I'm sure she will be.
Better be.
There's a House of Cars location opening in Washington. I don't know when, but soon, apparently.
That's awesome. Exciting. Yeah, I hope it's not. Everything seems to be down south, like beyond like Tacoma, South Center, stuff like that. So that's pretty kind of a deep drive for me, but it would be nice to have something. I don't think there's one diecast store up in the northern aspect of Washington, like way up here.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Like none.
Just do the big Seattle show though. There's like a big Seattle toy show that happens. I haven't been to it, but I keep hearing about it. So
yeah, I'll have to try to check that out. But yeah, it's kind of seems kind of dry up here, but we can change that. So
yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of online buying as well. I mean, eBay. When you're looking for a grail or something you just can't find, sometimes that's where you gotta go.
Yeah, you can find some. You can get taken advantage of on eBay, or you can find some really good deals. I've definitely found some things that were cheap, and they should have been 10 times more money. So.
Yeah,
I know it's just hit or miss sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still shocked that there are people that do the buying and selling on Facebook, just in Facebook groups, and I'm like, guys, there is like no safety net here. I mean, I know that there are people that do the reputation checks and there's referrals and all that, but it's still just like, man, that is especially with some of these bigger groups, they'll have 50, 60,000 people in them. You can't keep track of all of them.
I know, and I'm really wary of who I buy from as well. I mean, if I don't know them, then I definitely won't. But the good thing about going to conventions is you get to actually know all these people, and you can meet them in person, and then you can kind of almost judge for yourself. And then when there's in-room trading, it's even better, right? So that's actually probably a good tip too for your viewers, is when you go to the in-room trading, you'll get to learn, what their businesses are, because a lot of people have pages on Facebook or Instagram or whatnot. Whatnot is the new big thing now. Everybody's buying on. So you'll get to actually meet these people, which is kind of nice.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, very cool. It's funny. You guys all talk about like, oh, well, I'm just a few hours from here. I could drive legitimately 2 hours in any direction and still be in Florida. Like Florida is a big state, and I'm squarely in the middle. Like I'm in the north part of Central Florida, so I could drive 2 hours north and still be in Florida, and 2 hours south, east, and west and still be in Florida. But
the South in general is just huge.
We got some big states here, so
I'm like 5 minutes away from the USA border, so
yeah. And David, you're in Birmingham, so you're still. It's not too hard to get out of the state from where you're at, but it's still pretty landlocked.
Yeah, it's a good spot. So Jovita, I know you came in on 2 wheels. to get here on time, but do we? Is a pocket check in order? Is that gonna?
Of course,
you're always ready for the Jovita pocket check. All right, so what have you got on you today? What's your car of choice?
Okay, so before I do this, I was under the impression everybody's got something. So how about we pocket check on 3?
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Pocket check.
I didn't hear about this pocket check.
Mark,
we distinctly talked about this.
Check
Mark.
your text, Mark.
Oh man!
Look at Mark.
Okay,
David's even got a 510.
We got an Ecto.
Just a second.
We got
Just a second.
Duke's Charger, and what do you got there? What is? I don't. Oh, is that a Datsun?
This is a Datsun 510 for Mark.
Oh,
this is his car,
510.
and this was my first
Is that a
custom I
custom?
ever tried,
I was
guys.
just gonna say. Oh,
Yep.
nice.
This was
Look at
this was my terrible first custom.
Wow.
Nice.
I like it. I like it. I want it.
Mhm.
20.
Give me that.
No, $35
Okay, let's-
for you, Mark.
Let's
There you
just
go,
put it
Mark.
up for auction right now. Okay, it's at $35. Do I hear 40?
I'll do
What
40.
happened to
Yeah.
There you
So-
go.
So,
Oh, what do we got? A
$1.
wagon?
Mine?
Yeah,
oh,
that's
there-
jerry rigged. Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Chuck, what was yours? Ecto 1?
Yeah, I
Jovita,
got.
what was yours?
Is that a
she's-
Johnny Lightning or a
No,
Hot
this
Wheels?
is the Hot Wheels mainline version of the Ecto
Oh,
one
nice.
because I'm not putting the nice one in my pocket. But
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So
I
you
have
had
got.
Oh,
is
she's
that
got
the
general.
Ertl? No, that's not the
That's a
Ertl
This
custom,
General.
one
right?
it is the Ertl, and it's
Oh.
from 81.
Oh wow. Okay, that is
Yeah,
the Ertl.
dang.
this is played with condition, but still has the. Well, I guess we'll cover the flag, but anyways,
Yeah,
it is a Duke's Charger.
yeah.
Sweet.
Very nice. Yeah, I had a very well.
I don't know what
I-
You're
happened.
back. You're back.
I dropped this. I'm back. Sorry. No, I had
That's
that.
What?
I was clicking the wrong button. I hit
No.
I hit
Don't
remove from
touch
stream
anything.
instead of remove from solo, and I was like, "Why is it going to David?" And then I was like, "Where did I go?" No, so yeah, the Ertl ones have a special place in my heart, even though the Ertl hazard car police cars were very, very wrong. They were like Pontiac Bonnevilles or whatever, but still a very fun set. And when they re-released them in the early 2000s, I got another set of them. So that's a very cool one and a classic one for a Mopar person to have in their pocket. So, but yeah, well, we're about at time here. So before we wrap things up, tell folks where they can find you, follow you, all that good stuff.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I always love coming on, and I love all the support that you guys have given me throughout the year.
Of course.
You can find me on Instagram or YouTube. It's SRT Jovita, all one word. So SRTJovita. So follow me on Instagram and YouTube, and the show should be starting up soon. But I have been doing a bunch of box openings lately, so check it out.
Awesome. And, of course, we're thrilled to have you back on. We're looking forward to having you on again. Hopefully there'll be a show where we can all be out hanging out together and do a live stream IRL together. That'll be a lot of fun.
I know you guys should have came to Vegas. I was upset when I found out you guys are not going to be there.
Well,
Yeah,
the way it's shaken out, with Mark having the baby and, David and I are a little limited as to our, we're actually able to drive to the Atlanta show. So we were able to
I
save
hear
a few
ya.
bucks on that one. But, 2025 is coming and we are going to be there for sure. That is something that we want to, we're actually going to have the House of Cars people on our show later to talk about running the event, and we're really excited about that and hoping we can be a more of a media presence there as well. But you're out there tearing it up, and we're grateful for you to cover that event. And we'll do the Atlanta one, and you've got the Vegas one, and we'll all hang out afterwards and talk about
collab.
how it went.
We'll collab in 25.
But yeah, absolutely. So Oh, all right. Well, thank you again for being here, and thank you to everybody who's joining us live. It's super cool that you're here and hanging out with us, and everyone who's watching us on the replays, the folks on Instagram and Facebook. Now that we're streaming on Instagram, which is super cool, you can find us there now. Yeah. So, and again, shout out to our patrons who make the show go. If you want to join their ranks, you can hit the join button down at the bottom of the YouTube screen, or you can visit diecastbreakdown.com, and that'll take you to our Patreon page where you get behind the scenes access to some of my customs and some of the goings on that we're working on as we're trying to get this channel up in the rankings and stuff. We just found out we were ranked number 7 in Canadian podcasts for hobbies. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So
See, that's all my people.
Thank you to our Canadian neighbors for that little boost. And, thank you to everybody who has liked, shared, subscribed, rung the bell, shared this with their friends and Facebook groups. It's really helping a lot. And again, we are going to be posting something on our channel every day in the year 2024, whether that's a short, a community post, or a video. So far, we've been doing a short or a video every day, which is fantastic. And January is almost done. So we got a long way to go, and there's a lot of great stuff to share in the future. So as always, we want to thank you for coming along with us for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.